What's up, bitches? Welcome back for some more fucking Monopoly. Kirito's ass got thrown in fucking jail. Mario has been murdered. So now we got Cartman in pretty good shape here.
A monopoly doubles the rent owed. Easy money for the monopoly.
All right.
Tough on the tenant. Interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to have a little fun here, unmortgaging this bullshit. And we're also going to unmortgage that bullshit. I'm going to put one. Yeah, we'll go with two. Two motherfucking sets of houses down on that shit. Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. God motherfucking damn it. And L's ass is off to jail. Nice. Fucking L and Kirito are both jamming to the jailhouse rock. Fucking nice. Yeah, so some of you guys may be asking yourselves, you know, because I kind of mentioned this earlier towards the beginning of this recording session. You may be asking yourselves, wait a minute, multi-step. I thought since you moved into your dad's house, you haven't been able to record videos at nighttime. And I'm currently recording this at nighttime, or I guess now you'd call it technically really early in the morning. Either way, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so I've had a really fucked up day today. So actually, I was having a really good day. Earlier today, I did a recording session of The Last of Us, because I've been working on a playthrough of The Last of Us. And actually, I feel like the recording session I did earlier this morning went very well. I had a great recording session this morning. It overall went pretty well. I had a couple of tough spots, but still, I feel like overall, I had a very good recording session this morning playing The Last of Us Remastered for you guys. It was very good, and then afterwards, I was watching some anime. I'm actually currently, right now, watching an anime called From the New World, and it's a fucked up show. It's like, not even necessarily fucked up, it's just weird. It's like one of the weirdest fucking animes I've ever watched. It's just weird. It's good, though. I like it so far. It's an interesting anime, but it's like fucking weird. It's called From the New World. It was dubbed by, Sentai Filmworks. For those of you out there who know anime, you know, like one of the major dubbing studios is Sentai Filmworks. The most well-known one is obviously Funimation. There's also Viz Media. But yeah, so I was actually having a good day, right? And so one of my coworkers texted me, right, and asked me to switch shifts with him because I was supposed to start at 4 o'clock today, he was supposed to start at 4 o'clock today, and I was supposed to start at 5:15. So he sent me a message on Facebook and was all like, "Hey, man, you want to switch shifts with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll switch shifts with you, man. No fucking problem." And then not too shortly after that, I got a Facebook call from my aunt, who never Facebook calls me ever. I thought it was kind of weird, so I'm gonna be honest, I kind of ignored it initially. I'm just kind of like, okay, I'll just let that shit fizzle out. But then she sent me a message, like a message through Facebook Messenger or whatever. Right? So I thought that was kind of odd, you know. She was going to such lengths to contact me. So I looked at the message, and she's like, "You need to call me right now." She's like, "It's about your dad." And I thought to myself, my first thought was, oh, shit. And then she sent another message that said that my dad was in the hospital. And so my next thought was, oh, fuck. So then I talked to her. You know, I called her up on the phone, right? And talked to her. And she said, yeah, your dad wanted you to call him because apparently he's in the hospital. So I call up my dad, and I'm all like, yo, dude, what's going on? He's like, yeah, I'm in the hospital, but my phone's about to run out of battery. Would you be able to bring me my phone? And so I'm like, yeah, sure. What fucking hospital are you at? So instead of spending my time getting ready for work, you know, I had to call into work and be like, yeah, guys, I'm not going to be able to show up. My dad's apparently in the fucking hospital for some reason. He kind of told me a little bit about, like, why, like, what was going on. He said he had, like, some broken ribs or something, and I'm like, how the fuck did he break his ribs? You know, that was my first thought. My second thought was because the truck was missing, right? The truck, because my dad owns a nice big red F-150 truck, so I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, shit, did he get in a car crash or something? But I was also thinking, because my dad's a pretty good driver. I mean, say what you will about him, and there's plenty to say about him, granted, but he's a great driver from what I've seen for the most part. You know, he used to drive like those big-ass semi-trucks and shit, so, you know, he knows a thing or two about driving, you know. He's not a rookie, that's for sure. He knows his way around a vehicle. You know, he's been driving vehicles since he was probably like 13 fucking years old. Actually, probably younger than that, to be honest. He grew up in rural Wisconsin, so yeah, he was driving at a pretty young age. So the truck was gone, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, oh shit, did he get in a crash? But then I thought to myself, I'm like, that's a big-ass truck. The other person who hit him must have, like, T-boned him for him to have sustained serious injuries, like broken ribs and shit. Like, he must have, like, been hit very hard by someone else. You know, because it's a big-ass, like, full-size pickup truck. So in order for him to get injured in that thing, nice, Cartman's ass is off to jail. You know, someone must have had to have hit him pretty hard. Either that or the other person was also driving a full-size pickup truck, you know. That was my first thought, you know. I'm like, there's no other way that I can think of that he would have sustained those injuries. So my first thought is, okay, he was in a car crash. I need to go make sure he's okay, you know, and bring him his phone charger. And when my aunt, you know, texted me and called me and shit, she kind of freaked me out a bit. So I'm kind of, like, freaking out at this point. So I'm like, oh, my God, my dad's in the hospital. What the fuck is going on with my life right now? Holy shit. You know, so I'm, like, just freaking out, you know, in my mind. But once I called my dad and I was able to hear his voice and just hear that he was, you know, talking and shit, I'm like, okay, my dad is alive. He is talking. That is a very good sign. You know, he doesn't seem like he's out of it or whatever. He seems like he has his wits about him, you know. So I'm like, okay, he's with it, you know. He's conscious. He's clearly conscious. He's clear, you know, thinking clearly enough to, you know, talk to me and shit. So I stopped worrying so much after I heard him talk. So I quickly stopped what I was doing because I was about to start getting ready for work, and I'm just like, no, that shit ain't happening anymore. So yeah, I had to call into work. Oh shit, just choking on my drink over here, don't mind me. Ah, shit. Went down the wrong pipe there. Ugh. Shit, so yeah. I had to hop my ass in my car, try to find out what fucking hospital he was at, and it was actually funny, because he's at, oh shit, I want to say Northwestern Medical Center, I want to say. I think that's what it was called, Northwestern Medical Center. So I actually went to the wrong, like, Northwestern place at first. I went to, like, their pediatric place or whatever, which was kind of stupid of me. But they were actually, since, you know, it was Northwestern or whatever, the hospital that he was actually at was Northwestern, you know, like, emergency care or whatever. And I went to, like, the Northwestern, like, I think it was, like, immediate care or whatever, some kind of shit like that. But they were still able to tell me where he was and, like, what hospital he was in. So after I went to the first place, I hopped back into my car, turned on the GPS. I'm like, all right, let's find where this hospital is so I can track my dad down and make sure he's not dying, you know. So then I drove my ass over to the hospital. You know, I head into the hospital. They made me wear a medical mask. They made me do the hand sanitizer and the medical mask and shit. Because, you know, at the time I'm recording this. Again, for those of you who don't know how I, like, run my YouTube operation, I pre-record all my videos, like, several months in advance before I actually get around to uploading them. So, like, from the time I actually, like, record a video to the time it gets uploaded to my YouTube channel, a time span of about, like, 6 months, I want to say, goes by. Some shit like that. So, at the time I'm actually recording this, it's currently, I want to say, March 23rd, 2021. Although, actually, technically, I think now is March 24th, 2021, because, you know, crossed the line over into midnight. It's currently... Oh, shit. No, it's actually 1:05 in the morning right now. It's not even close to midnight anymore. But, yeah, so it's 1:05 in the morning right now, technically. So I drove to the hospital, right? And I'm still a little bit, like, you know, I'm a little bit panicked at the moment. Still a little bit, you know, razzled, a little bit shaken, you know, by this whole thing, obviously. So I went there. I kind of had to wander around a little bit until I found my dad. Had to wander around the hospital a little bit. It was kind of weird, but it was kind of fun in its own weird kind of way. Just wandering around this hospital. Luckily, a couple of people saw me, and like a couple of nurses and shit helped me find my way there. So yeah, and then I got into there, got to my dad's room, the room that they were keeping him in. And so I talked to him. I'm like, yo, dude, what the hell happened, you know? Because he was, when I got into his room, he was sitting, you know, in a bed. He was all, like, bandaged up and shit. He got, like, fucking tubes in his fucking nose and shit. Like, and his, like, elbows bandaged up a bit. His head was bandaged up a bit. Fucking tubes in his nose and all kinds of wires and shit. I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? So this is my fucking dad, by the way. So he tells me that he got in a motorcycle accident on his way to work. Because he said, and I don't feel like getting into this details right now, honestly. Because honestly, I don't even really remember the details. Because I'm really bad at paying attention to shit because I have ADHD. But basically, like, he hit a slick patch on his way to work when he was on the motorcycle doing something stupid that he... admits. He's like, yeah, no, I did something stupid that I shouldn't have done, and I slid and fell and then scraped up his elbow, he said, while he was sliding, and then got launched a little bit off of his motorcycle and then landed kind of weirdly, which is what ended up breaking his ribs. So he's like, yeah, I got a couple of broken ribs, my elbow's fucked up. He's like, and then they said that he said that the doctors and shit said that his spleen was bleeding a little bit. He's like, it's not major or anything. There's no cause for alarm there. He's like, it's not life-threatening, but he said there was minor bleeding on my spleen. So I'm just like, God damn, dude. So then my next thought was like, wait a minute. So the truck was not in the driveway this morning. So the next question I asked him was like, wait a minute, how did you get here then? He's like, oh, well, after the accident, I got back on my motorcycle. Yeah, so after he got launched off his fucking motorcycle, broke a couple of his ribs, had some minor internal bleeding, his elbow was fucked up, and he also had a slight, it looked like, bruise on his head also. After all that shit, my fucking dumbass dad fucking hops back onto his motorcycle, drives back home, and keep in mind, I'm asleep, you know, usually this early in the morning. I'm asleep because my dad leaves early in the morning for work, usually like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, he leaves early in the fucking morning, so my dumbass is fucking asleep, you know. Apparently, he hopped back on his fucking motorcycle after this shit, drove himself back home on his motorcycle. Then, rather than waking my ass up, he didn't even just wake my ass up. He hopped in the fucking pickup truck and drove his dumb ass to the fucking hospital. Can you believe that shit? Like, Jesus Christ. That was my dumb ass. I would have called a fucking ambulance. I sure as hell wouldn't be hopping back on my fucking motorcycle. Like, Jesus Christ. So that was my initial reaction. Was like, God damn, dude. I mean, say what you will about my dad, and granted, there's a lot to say about my dad, but he's one tough son of a bitch. Like, goddamn. If that was my ass, I would have been like, nope, we're calling an ambulance. Fuck this shit. Like, goddamn, dude. So, his dumb ass fucking gets back on the fucking motorcycle after busting up his ribs and shit, rides all the way back home, and then hops in the fucking truck and drives his ass to the fucking hospital. I just wanted to straight up tell him right there. I didn't want to because I didn't want him to, you know, obviously I didn't want to cause him any stress or anything. You know, I wanted him to remain calm and shit, obviously, but I just wanted to tell him right there. I just want to be like, you fucking dumbass. Why didn't you just fucking wake me up, dude? I wouldn't care if it was fucking 2:30 in the morning. Like, if something that bad happens, you need to wake my dumb ass up so that I can drive you to the fucking hospital. Like, dude, I wouldn't have been mad about that. Like, dude, you should not be driving your dumb ass to the fucking hospital when you have multiple broken ribs, internal bleeding, a fucking elbow injury, and a head injury. Like, what, are you fucking retarded? The fucking head injury probably killed the last few remaining brain cells that you fucking had because you didn't have much to fucking begin with, you idiot. Jesus. My fucking dad, man, he is something else. He is something else. And I say that with love, though, all joking aside, you know? I mean, say what you will about him, but goddamn. He's one tough son of a bitch. Like, goddamn. So yeah, that's why it was, it's been kind of a strange day for me, because, you know, I was doing my recording session early in the morning, you know, and I didn't hear about any of this until about, like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when I first found out about this shit. Looks like things aren't going so well for L. But yeah, that's when I, like, first found out about this shit, was, like, early in the fucking morning. And, you know, or the first time I heard about this shit was, like, not early in the morning when it actually happened, but, like, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when I actually heard about this, and I'm like, oh, shit, now I gotta get my dumb ass over to the hospital and shit. But, yeah, I mean, I visited him in the hospital. He was talking and shit. You could tell he was in a lot of pain. Like, you could tell he was not in great shape. That being said, all things considered, that could have been a hell of a lot worse, because he could very well have died. He could very well have died in that fucking accident. So, you know, you got to take the small miracles when you can get them, you know? So, he's still alive. His dumb fucking ass is still alive. But, yeah, it's been a fucked up day. So, my dad is still in the hospital right now. At the time that I'm recording this, they're keeping him there for a couple of days, so I think tomorrow, I may be able to do some more Monopoly for you guys, because my dad will still be in the hospital, I think. I don't know exactly how many days they're keeping him for, but actually, out of all of his injuries, the one I'm most worried about is actually the bleeding of his spleen, because internal bleeding is no joke. That shit can kill you. So out of all of his injuries, that was easily the one that I was most worried about or most concerned about. So, yeah, but he went to Northwestern Medical Center, which is widely regarded as one of the best hospitals in the northern Chicagoland region. It is widely regarded as one of the finest facilities and one of the finest hospitals in the region. So I know that he's being taken care of very well there, so I'm not worried about that. But even still, you know, it's been a fucked up day, you guys. I haven't had a day that's been this fucked up in a long time. And the thing is, too, I was actually having a really good day today. Like, I was watching some anime. I had a great recording session this morning of, The Last of Us Remastered. I had a lot of fun playing that this morning. Like, I was having a great fucking day. And then this fucking happens, and I'm like, well, shit. So, yeah, it's been a fucked up day. No two ways about it. It's just been a fucked up day. But you gotta look on the bright side. I get the house to myself for a couple of days. Well, at least today and maybe part of tomorrow. I don't know again. I don't know exactly how long they're going to be keeping him at the hospital. Well, it looks like Kirito's fucked. You have insufficient assets to pay your debt. Yes, Kirito's ass is done. So how about that? So Kirito is the next one to go down. So the former Monopoly Grandmaster Champion has officially been dethroned. So either Cartman or L will be crowned as the next Monopoly Grandmaster Champion. At this point, it's definitely looking like it's going to be Cartman. I thought for a second there that L might be able to pull this off. And actually, technically, L could still pull this off. But it is looking very unlikely at this point. L could still pull this off. If he gets lucky and Cartman lands on blue a couple of times and lands on the railroads, he may have a shot. But Cartman has a lot of properties now, so could go either way. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys, know about that. Why I've had such a fucked up day today. It's just been crazy, man. Crazy fucking day, I mean, I was freaking out earlier today when my aunt, called me and was all like, yeah, your dad's in the fucking hospital. And I'm like, shit, that is not good, because at first when I heard that he was in the hospital, I'm like, oh, fuck, is it, serious? Is he in serious condition? What the fuck's going on? What happened, My mind is just going a million miles a minute, I got a million different thoughts all happening at the same time in my head, and I'm just freaking out, And, yeah, but again, once I called him and at least heard him, talking to me, that was good, That made me feel a lot better once I heard that, but yeah, it's been a fucked up day and a fucked up circumstance, but it is what it is, that's part of life. It happens, yeah, it's just is what it is, but I've had a fucked up day. But I gotta say, ending my day by playing some Monopoly for you guys is pretty awesome. I don't get too many chances to play Monopoly for you guys, because again, it's something that I only do at nighttime, as is a tradition of mine that I only ever play Monopoly at nighttime. Again, I have no idea what time it'll be when I actually upload these videos, because again, I pre-record all my videos several months in advance before I get around to uploading them, so I don't know if it'll be nighttime when I actually upload these videos, but the time that I'm actually recording this at right now, it is currently 1:18 in the fucking morning right now, so yeah, definitely what I would consider to be nighttime. So, yeah, it was a fucked up day, man. Just a fucked up day today. So, yeah, I thought, though, that being said, I would still take the chance, take the opportunity, since my dad is not here at the moment, to be able to record some of this shit at night for you guys. Again, also part of the other reason why I don't record videos whenever my dad is here, or especially at nighttime, when my dad is here, is because I try to be courteous. My dad sleeps at night like a normal person, whereas I'm usually up till 1 in the morning, but I, stay quiet so that way my dad can sleep. I do that out of courtesy, which, obviously I'm not going to make a ton of noise when he's trying to sleep, because that's just shitty. But also just out of common courtesy, I usually try to keep it a little bit quieter when he's here, just in general, which is why I don't record videos while he's home. That, and also he has no idea that I have a YouTube channel, so, he'd be kind of, if he heard me in here, talking to myself, basically, which is basically what I do when I record these videos, You know, he'd be like, why are you sitting in your room talking to yourself? And I just don't feel like explaining it to him, so, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, hey, you know, gotta look on the bright side. I mean, my dad being in the hospital gives me an opportunity to, you know, record some Monopoly for you guys. Something that I don't get to do very often, and something that I know you guys tend to enjoy quite a bit, because, I mean, some of my Monopoly videos are easily some of my most successful videos on this YouTube channel. Maybe not on average as successful as something as like my Guitar Hero videos, but a lot of my Monopoly videos do pretty fucking well on this channel. So you guys seem to enjoy that this content quite a bit. So yeah, I appreciate all the support. I mean, my most watched video of all time, currently at the time that I'm recording this, currently sitting at 3.1 thousand fucking views, is a video of the very first part of the very first game of Monopoly that I did on the Wii. Currently sitting at 3.1 thousand views, which is just unfucking believable, honestly. Straight up unfucking believable. So, I mean, the amount of support you guys have given me on these videos has just been insane, and I appreciate every fucking bit of it. So, yeah, just kind of a weird circumstance. Luckily, though, I have off of work tomorrow. I do have a dentist appointment, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But I have off of work tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be able to get a lot of shit done for you guys tomorrow as well. And maybe a couple more rounds of Monopoly tomorrow night as well. We'll see how that shit goes, but yeah. Alright, well, either way, Kirito is now dead. So, that puts him as third place. So now it's down to one-on-one, Cartman and L. Alright, guys, stay tuned to see which one of these fuckers will be crowned as the new Monopoly Grandmaster Champion. So stay tuned to find out. Until next time, peace out, bitches.